Hi everyone, welcome back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with a match preview for Newcastle United's upcoming game. Huge game in the Champions League against AC Milan this Wednesday, 8 p.m. at St James's Park. This is the make or break game. Do Newcastle stay in the Champions League? Do we get in the Europa League, or do we go out of Europe all together? We're going to get stuck right into this, talk about how I think the lads are going to line up, where we think the game may be won, drawn, or hopefully not lost. And we'll get stuck right in a second. Before we do, a little reminder, as we always say it, if you haven't already, consider subscribing. We'd love you to come and join us. We're over 6,000 subs now, so loads of room for you guys on Evermore. All free content, loads of stuff to get stuck into, just like the match preview you're about to watch. It's all free of charge, but if you do want to give a little bit back to the channel, there is a membership option down there too. Less than £2 a month, so smash that if you'd like to. And yeah, we'd love to have you on board. So as I say, this is a massive game. It's all come down to this, really. The Champions League Group F, the group of death. As we sit in this group right now, Newcastle sit in third place after 5 matches, 1-1, drawn 2, lost 2, scored 5, conceded 5, goal difference is 0, 5 points. Our opponents, AC Milan, played 5, 1-1, drawn 2, lost 2, scored 3, conceded 7. So a goal difference of -4, which could be crucial. They're sitting on 5 points as well. Then above us, you've got PSG, played 5, 1-2, drawn 1, lost 2, scored 8, conceded 7, a goal difference of 1, 7 points. And Dortmund obviously are flying in the group, played 5, 1-3, drawn 1, lost 1, scored 6, conceded 3, goal difference of 3, and on 10 points. And obviously Paris and Dortmund play each other in the other game, which could be crucial to Newcastle United's future in the Champions League. So this is a big game, as I say. We've got some big players coming back as well. We saw a couple of lads fit for Spurs to be on the bench, to come off the bench as well, and Callum Wilson and Sean Longstaff. I think they may have bigger parts to play in this game. We're going to get stuck right in and tell you how I think the lads are going to line up, and here we go. Boom, there is our team. So we made a couple of changes, as you can see there. Not many changes you can make to that back line. Dubravka was shaky against Spurs, to say the least. The third goal, terrible position and giving away the penalty. The cells looked dead on his legs. But unfortunately, I don't think Eddie Howe is going to make any changes for this back line. I really don't. Trippier has been really poor the last couple of games. Big mistakes against Everton, got cooked on toast against Son down in London at the weekend. But this is a huge game, and you need your big game experienced players, and Kieran Trippier is certainly that for Newcastle United. He's a fantastic footballer. He's a proper Champions League player as well, and I don't think Eddie Howe will drop him in this game. He'll want his leadership. He'll want his quality, and I think he will play him in this game. So the back 5 will be unchanged. The midfield 3, we've made a change. We've taken Louis Miley out of the starting 11. That's no slight to the lad whatsoever. I think he's a fantastic player, and for 17 years old, he showed composure and experience way beyond his years. But with Sean Longstaff back, I think Eddie Howe will go for the experience, and he'll want Sean in that midfield 3 alongside Joe Linton and Bruno. We need big games from all 3 of them. Bruno in particular needs to boss this game. If we're going to get anything out of this game, Bruno has to be up for this game, as does Trips. But Bruno has to be the Bruno with the chest out, the vamos, and give me the ball and fucking making things happen, getting stuck into people. We need Bruno at his best. And in the front 3, we've taken Isak out. We'll put Callum Wilson through the middle. Wilson looked sharp when he come on, I thought, against Spurs. You know, nice little bit of movement, held the ball up well, looked hungry for it. Obviously kicked off with a goalkeeper as well, which was something different altogether. But Isak looks dead on his feet. He's not fit. He's been rushed back, I think, to the team because we haven't got a centre forward, and he's walking around like a spare man, really, at the minute. You know, he could be one of the groundskeepers. You give a fucking fork to sort the grass out, he might do that. But Wilson will definitely come in my opinion, in this game. I think he'll lead the line. And, you know, you could argue taking Miggy out of the side, but I just don't think we'll have anybody else to fill in that position. I mean, the only other change you could potentially do is move Gordon to the right-hand side, Joe Linton to the left, and play Louis Miley and Longstaff either side of Bruno. And Eddie Howe might do that, depending on how Miggy feels. But I think with Miggy's energy and his relentless run, I think that is what we'll see on Wednesday at St James's Park. Talking about the opposition, for me, the biggest threat and the biggest danger to us is Rafael Leao. Now, he was injured with a thigh injury, but unfortunately for us, it looks like he is going to be fit to play on Wednesday night. So that's going to give Kieran Trippier and Tino Livramento some issues when he's going either side of them there. In terms of the absentees for Milan, they are still missing Pellegrino and Kaja have left. Tomori is Milan's only fit central defender. Theo Hernandez, again, should provide emergency cover. We've got Alessandro Florenzi, who will be a left back. So Hernandez will move inside rather than that marauding left back position, who was dangerous in the first leg. I think he made some really good runs. He was very dangerous, I think. So for us, that could be good having him centre half. Maybe Wilson can rough him up a little bit. It's not his natural position, so hopefully that will give us something to get stuck into. But I think Rafael Leao is the danger for me. So again, looking at them, there's some dangerous players in there as well. We'll have Olivier Giroud, who'll be wanting to get in amongst it. Shaw loves that battle, though. Lascelles, a big part, loves that battle. He loves to get stuck into a centre forward like that, pulling shirts and and giving each other digs out. I think you'll love that kind of play from Olivier Giroud. Chukwueze's a very good player as well. I think Loftus-Cheek showed in the first leg he's actually quite a decent player. Injuries have always been Loftus-Cheek's problem as well, so he'll be wanting to burst through from midfield. So we'll need Joe Linton and Bruno to be the defensive best, and Longstaff as well to use those lungs of his to try and get back and forward on the pitch. But this is going to be a difficult game. It really is. We've had two shocking performances, two shocking results in the lead up to this game. It's probably the worst preparation you could have possibly had going into probably the biggest game of the season, many would say. But with it being at home, with it being at St James's Park, we couldn't have asked for a better last game in this Champions League group of death. We haven't disgraced ourselves at all, to be honest with you. I was one of the most negative people going into this group, saying that we were going to get totally pumped. And I was rightly told by some of the lads that I was being too negative, and proved to be right, because I think we've put in some monumental performances in this group. The 0-0 in the San Siro, the 4-1 demolition of Paris Saint-Germain at St James's Park. We should have won the other leg in the Parc de France 1-0. We got screwed by a shit penalty at the last minute. So Newcastle have not disgraced themselves at all in the Champions League group, and they deserve to go through. I think they've showed enough quality. They've showed enough desire, kind of ability to dig in and try and get through this group stage, even with a depleted, injury ravaged side, young lads making their debuts in the Champions League. That they've showed that they're more than capable of getting out of this group, and it's in our own hands. It really is. I think the lads know what they have to do. I think being at St James's Park, I think it's going to give them an extra spring in the step, that adrenaline. I think the noise will be like nothing you've ever heard before. I think War Flags will have something massive in store. I think the ground will be reverberating. I remember going to the Southampton game, when Longstaff gets his brace, and they were playing Thunderstruck before the game, and I tell you something, the whole stadium was fucking rocking. It was vibrating, and I really hope they do something similar on Wednesday night, just to get everybody whipped up into that frenzy, because when that crowd is up like that, it gives those players an extra 20-30%, and I really do think that that's what they need to get themselves over the line. There's broken bodies out there, players are wrecked, they're shattered. There's more games coming this Christmas period. Doesn't stop. It's relentless. But if Newcastle United can win this game, then the destiny will be, in our hands. Obviously PSG have got to go to Dortmund, and they've got to get something. I don't sound like Kevin Keegan there. They've got to get something out of Dortmund, and I think they'll struggle. I think Dortmund are a really good side in the Champions League. I think they're very well structured. I think they've definitely been the best team in the group, 100%. I think they'll want to go out with a bang. They'll won't want Mbappe and co rocking up the town and taking the piss out of them. So it's not going to be an easy game for PSG. PSG have been poor against Newcastle United, really poor. I think they've only really turned up for one game against Milan when they beat them 3-0, but they got beat 2-1 in the return leg. So the PSG have been pretty piss poor in this Champions League group of death, where they should have been the ones that hosed it. They've not been anywhere near that level. So I really do think they might struggle to get a result over in Dortmund. So for Newcastle United's sake, we need to win this game. And if Dortmund even get a draw out of PSG, then we go through. We go through to the knockout stages. I think if PSG win, obviously, and we win, we don't go ahead of them, then we're third, we're in the Europa. If we draw and PSG draw, I think it goes down a goal difference between us and Milan. So we really need to win this game. I think above and beyond, really. And I think we can win this game. We'd rather win it and then have that almost that peace of mind cover that we've done our job. And as long as we do our job, whatever will be. After that, if we do end up going out of Europe altogether, I don't want to sound too defeatist, but I don't think it's the end of the world. I think this club can then concentrate on the cups. I think we've got a real good chance to win the Carabao Cup, especially with some of the teams that have gone out this year. We can focus on the Premier League. We can bring some players back from injuries. We can add some players in the January transfer window. We can really go at it. But from a financial point of view and from a progressive point of view, Newcastle United have done a miraculous thing getting to the Champions League as quickly as they have, and they want to stay in it. We want to stay in it as fans. We want to get to that knockout stage. We want this journey to continue. So I really do think the lads can do this. So in terms of the performance for me and the result, I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle United. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. I think it'll be tight. I think it'll be backs to the wall at times. I think it'll take a bit of quality. It'll take a bit of graft. It'll take some intensity. That allows you to turn the volume up on that. We can't have performances that we had against Everton or Spurs, and we'll get absolutely battered and blown away by Milan. I'm pretty sure of that. So we need to turn up and we need to show up and we need to put it all into this performance. But as long as we win this game, whatever will be after that. Paris Saint-Germain, they've got to get something out of Dortmund, and I think that's going to be a tough ask for them. So for me, I think Newcastle can get the job done, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory on Wednesday night at St James's Park. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Let us know if you're going to the game, if you're buzzing, if you're excited as well. Bring the noise, guys, if you're there. Let us know what you think about the lineup. We'll be back with a post-match analysis of the Milan game on Wednesday. No matter what happens, come and join us in the lives. Let us know what you guys think of the game. And as I mentioned at the start, if you haven't already, click subscribe. Come and join us. We'd love you to be a part of Evermore. Loads of free content here. If you do want to give a little bit back to the channel, there is an option there too for you. We've got loads of content we get stuck into, previews, post-match analysis, transfer videos galore, you name it, we've got it. Smash that button, come and be part of this great community. We're the lads for Wednesday, get the job done. Let's keep this Champions League dream alive. We'll see you later. Cheers.